Welcome everyone to Ytxw Collision Episode 6. We are live from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and tonight we have an action-packed episode for you. We're at a sold-out crowd here tonight. And our opening segment will be the CEO of this company, Big Hoss. And here he comes, the CEO of Ytxw, Mr. Hoss. And man, he looks in rare form tonight, and the crowd just booing this guy out of the arena. Since he has taken control of Ytxw, he has made some questionable decisions. First, he fires Big Billy. Then, he had the gall to fire the former #1 contender to the Ytxw Heavyweight Championship, Tony James, one of the top athletes here in Ytxw. Then he has his monster warlock going around beating the crap out of everyone. Well, we'll just have to see what he's up to tonight.
Welcome to Ytxw Collision. Tonight, the main event will be a 3-on-1 handicap match, which will feature Zane Crow versus the $1 Million Willie and the Mex Bros. Also, if Ytxw superstars in the back cross my path, they will be fired like Tony James and Big Billy. Do I make myself clear?
What the hell? Tony James? What the hell's he doing here? And Big Hoss look like he's pissed off and scared out of his mind. What the hell's Tony James doing here? And he's in a suit. The crowd is going fucking crazy. You see Tony James here tonight. He got fired 2 episodes ago, and he's back here tonight. I don't know what's he doing here. But Big Hoss does not look too happy of seeing him. And man, Tony is staring him down like a mad dog, and the crowd is going freaking nuts. Looks like Big Hoss ready to piss himself or something. Oh, here comes Tony into the ring. He looks pretty good for being off that long.
Surprised to see me, Big Hoss? Well, I will tell you why I'm here tonight. You see, the board of directors of Ytxw has made the decision to relieve you as CEO of Ytxw. Because of your abuse of power as of late, and they hired me back as the new general manager of Ytxw. Until the board decides who's going to run this company as CEO. So get the hell out of my damn ring before I fire you, okay? Since that is taken care of, I'm changing the main event tonight. It will be a 6-man tag match, which will feature the team of $1 Million Willie and the Mex Brothers versus Alexander, Taylor Storm, and the Painkiller, Zane Crow. Enjoy the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back after this commercial break.
Feel the tick tick tock, when I'm staring at my wristwatch. I wonder where the time gone. I'm carrying a time bomb. I don't want it to blow. I don't want it to.
This match is set for one fall. Introducing first, from Rome, Italy, weighing in at 250 pounds, Ryan Terror.
Welcome back to YTXW Collision, and this is our opening contest. And here comes Ryan Terror down to the ring. Ladies and gentlemen, before we start this match, I want to congratulate Tony James on being the new general manager of YTXW. Finally, the big hot era is over. We have a bright light here in YTXW as Tony James as our new general manager. And what a great main event he made tonight. A 6-man tag match between the Painkillers, Ytxw and Taylor Storm and Alexander versus the Mexican Brothers and the YTXW heavyweight champion, the $1 Million Willie. Ryan Terror is primed up here tonight.
And his opponent, from New York, New Jersey, weighing in at 223 pounds, C.J. Hawkins.
And here comes C.J. Hawkins. He is now a permanent superstar here in YTXW. He has officially signed a contract to appear here on every episode of YTXW Collision. And the crowd loves him here. The YTXW fans. I see good things in this guy's future here in YTXW. Looks like he even got some new ring gear here tonight. And we're off. And right off the bat, a swinging front neck breaker by C.J. Hawkins. And a suplex coming up and he hits it. Reversing back and forth. A hip toss by C.J. Hawkins and he counters out of it. And an enziguri kick to the back of Ryan Terror's head. Irish whip to the corner coming up. And a missile drop kick. A drop kick by C.J. Hawkins. And the crowd's getting into it. Belly to belly suplex coming up. Into a waist lock. Ryan Terror was able to counter it. Irish whip coming up by Ryan Terror into the corner. Oh, bounces C.J. Hawkins off the ropes into a German suplex. C.J. Hawkins back on his feet. Kicks Ryan Terror in the gut. Suplex coming up. He's holding it and he hits it. Irish whip from the corner again by C.J. Hawkins. Ryan Terror was able to counter it into a shoulder block into the turnbuckle. Picking him up on the rope. What's he gonna do here? A superplex coming up and he hits it. An armbar on. C.J. Hawkins counters out of it. Into a backbreaker. Well, and then a tornado drop kick by C.J. Hawkins. Irish whip to the turnbuckle again. And a drop kick by C.J. Hawkins, but Ryan Terror was able to counter it. A headlock. C.J. Hawkins was able to get out of it. And a back suplex by C.J. Hawkins. And the crowd is getting behind Hawkins. Irish whip coming up in the corner. And a drop kick, but Ryan Terror was able to counter. Irish whip by C.J. Hawkins. Oh, shoulder blocks and he bounces off and hits my commentary booth. Ryan Terror gets back in the ring. Irish whips in the corner again. Ryan Terry was able to counter it. A counter by Hawkins. Kick the gut in the corner of the turnbuckle. The referee's down to get out of there. Ryan Terry was able to counter out of it. And a splash by Ryan Terry, and CJ Hawkins goes down. Oh, and then Tagari kick to the back of the head to Ryan Terry by CJ Hawkins. And a takedown by Ryan Terry. Left and right by Hawkins into an Tagari kick. And the crowd's getting behind Hawkins. Oh, left and right by Ryan Terry. But CJ was able to counter it into his own left and right. Now he's working on the legs. Looks like, oh, a figure 4 leg drop. Will Ryan Terry give up? No. Ryan Terry fights out of it. Irish whip coming up by CJ Hawkins. Left and right. Ryan Terry's outside the ring. What's he gonna do? Ryan Terry gets back in the ring, and then Tagari kick, but Ryan Terry was able to counter it. Irish whip coming up by CJ Hawkins. And a drop kick by Ryan Terry. To Ryan Terry to see by CJ Hawkins. Ooh, man, that has to hurt. That's a toe hold. Submission hold. Headlock submission hold. Toe holds, headlock submission hold. Ryan Terry's outside the ring. What CJ Hawkins is gonna do is get the crowd into the match. Ryan Terry looks like he's got a hammer. He hits that. The referee's gonna disqualify. CJ unarms him. He takes it out, throws it outside the ring. He wants to win this match the old-fashioned way by a 1, 2, 3 or submission. An atomic drop by Ryan Terry to CJ Hawkins. Hawkins able to counter out of it. Countered by Ryan Terry. And a hip toss by CJ Hawkins into a drop kick. And another drop kick by CJ Hawkins. Picks Ryan Terry up again. Ryan Terry looks like he's oozing on his feet. He's able to counter into an arm drag. CJ counters after into a waist lock. Ryan Terry counters into another arm drag. CJ counters into another waist lock. A back suplex coming up. A vertical back suplex, and he hits it. Ryan Terry's getting back on his feet. What's going to happen? Counters and nails CJ Hawkins in the back of the head. What a hard-fought match is here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, on the opening contest here in YTX. And a submission is applied by Ryan Terry, and the referee's asking CJ if he wants to give up. He's got it hinged in there pretty good. And CJ Hawkins is able to get out of it. Tried to do an Tagari kick, but Ryan Terry was able to dodge it. Couple knee kicks in the head into a waistlock by Ryan Terry. Another atomic drop. CJ Hawkins counters out of it. Into an Tagari kick to Ryan Terry. Tried to do another Tagari kick, but Ryan Terry was able to dodge it. CJ comes back around on the rebound. Irish puts him into the corner. And a drop kick to Ryan Terry. Here we go again. Oh, and a running Tagari kick by CJ Hawkins. Arm drag coming up. Suplex. No, wait a minute. Oh! Ryan Terry was able to counter into a net breaker. The CJ is able to get up into it. Gets him on the top rope. What's he gonna do? Oh, and it's a Gary kick! And he's still hanging on the top rope. What's he gonna do now? Looks like a belly to belly. No, it's a fallout slam by CJ Hawkins on the top rope. Oh, full Nelson suplex by CJ Hawkins. What an athlete, CJ. Oh, it looks like a low blow, but referee, I guess it's not. I guess he low blowed him in the groin, not It wasn't a low blow. He just nailed him in the groin. The referee, that's a judgment call there. An enziguri kick by C.J. Hawkins. It must not have been a low blow. No switch in the corner. And a drop kick by C.J. Hawkins. And then there, enziguri kick by Hawkins. And the crowd's getting right behind C.J. Hawkins. Looks like the submission hold coming up. A toe hold into a headlock. Ooh, goes off the top rope and tried to do an elbow, but Ryan Terror was able to dodge out of it. An enziguri kick to the back of the head of Ryan Terror again. Left and right by C.J. Hawkins. Ryan Terror's losing on his feet. Now he's trying to fight by C.J. Hawkins, counters and goes back with this left and right. Got Ryan Terror in the corner. A drop kick. And Ryan Terror goes down. A headlock by Ryan Terror. Irish whip coming up. Right to the corner. And he kicks Ryan Terror in the back in the midsection. And C.J. Hawkins goes down. Ooh. A roll up by C.J. Hawkins, 1. And a kick out only at 1. Big slam coming up and he hits it. Then up on the shoulder and a rollout slam by C.J. Hawkins. Ooh, suplex by C.J. Hawkins. Ryan Terror fights out of it. Into an enziguri kick to the back of Ryan Terror's head. And a tornado kick by C.J. Hawkins. Another shot to the groin. An enziguri kick to the back of the head to Ryan Terror by C.J. Hawkins. That's coming up. A pedigree by C.J. Hawkins. Pushing him to the middle of the ring. Pulling him from the middle of the ring. What you gonna do? Going for the cover. 1, 2, 3, and C.J. Hawkins just beating Ryan Terror, and the crowd's going nuts. C.J. Hawkins. Way to go, C.J. Hawkins. What a great opening match. And the administration of Tony James as the new general manager of Ytxw.
I can't believe the board of directors relieved me as CEO. I won the damn lawsuit. I should own the company. They can't just take it away from me and make Tony James, of all people, the general manager. Big Vincent, if Zane Crow makes it past the $1 Million Willie and the Mex Brothers, I want you to make sure he doesn't walk out of the ring. He'll never be champion. Do I make myself clear? I will have my position back.
Hoss, if you think Vincent is going to accompany the $1 Million Willie to the ringside, think again. Vincent is banned from the ringside, and if I see him there, the $1 Million Willie can kiss his championship belt goodbye. So have a nice night, Hoss. See you around.
Well, I guess Big Vincent's not coming down the $1 Million Willie to his match tonight. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
$28, $29, $30. I'm getting there, honey. $31, $32, 32, 33, 34, 35. Is that the right amount here?
This match is set for one fall. Introducing first, from Kingston, Jamaica, weighing in at 262 pounds, Dusty Ryan.
Welcome back to YTXW Collision Episode 7, and here comes the Jamaican sensation, Dusty Ryan, ready to square off against the reigning YTXW Internet Heavyweight Champion, Dan Matthews. A victory over DDM tonight will put Dusty Ryan in a title opportunity in the near future. Dusty Ryan's been hot here in YTXW since his debut, and the fans sure do love him. Well, tonight's YTXW is brought to you by Stacker 2 Energy Shop. One drink out of that, you'll have enough energy for 24 hours. And brought to you by McDonald's. I'm loving it. And also, YTXW is brought to you by AutoZone. If you need oil change for your car, go to AutoZone.
And his opponent, from the United Kingdom, weighing in at 240 pounds, he is the YTXW Internet Champion, Dan Matthews.
Here comes the reigning and defending YTXW Internet Heavyweight Champion of the world, Dan Matthews. This guy has been a defending champion since he won the title. He defeated the likes of Big Vincent and Mike Adams. And on the last episode of YTXW, he went face-to-face against the YTXW Heavyweight Champion, the $1 Million Willie. He came up short in that match, but he sure put on a hell of a performance. Someone better call Road Warrior Animal to get his shoulder pads back. And we're off with a fast pace with Dan Matthews on the quick offense in this match. And to a scoop slam. Dan Matthews going on the top rope and does a missile drop kick off the top rope. What great offense by the Internet Champion. Reversal Irish whip by Dusty Ryan into a drop kick in the corner. Dusty Ryan's trying to get some offense, and then Dan Matthews is able to counter into an offense and kicking him in the gut in the corner of the turnbuckle, and referee's telling him to get in there. Ooh, and a baseball slide by DDM. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard from the general manager before commercial break that Big Vincent is now banned from ringside and cannot interfere in the $1 Million Willie's match. If he comes down to ringside, the $1 Million Willie will be stripped of the YTXW Heavyweight Championship. And that pissed Big Hoss off big time, especially since he now is no longer the CEO of YTXW. Later on tonight, back to this match, and he's going to the trifecta suplexes. Dan Matthews. And he hits it on Dusty Ryan. And he's kicking Dusty Ryan down to the mat. Irish whip in the corner coming up. What's he gonna do now? Ooh! And a stomp down kick to Dusty Ryan off the middle of the rope into a suplex slam. Arm drag coming up by DDM. Kicking him in the face into an arm drag. Oh, and a face plant by Dan Matthews to Dusty Ryan. Swinging that breaker coming up and he hits it. Dusty Ryan counters out of it into a neck breaker. Waist off by Dusty Ryan. Irish whip in the corner. Reversal coming up. Reversal by Dusty Ryan. Reversal by DDM. Into a full Nelson suplex. Left and right by DDM. Got him in the corner. What's he gonna do? Looks like a suplex. Oh, trifecta. He's trying to do the trifecta again, ladies and gentlemen. And Dan Matthews hits it. Hits Dusty Ryan up again. Oh, another famous serve by DDM, and I think Dusty Ryan's busted open. He is. Irish whip in the corner again. Kicks in the corner in the turnbuckle. Dusty Ryan falls down in the corner. Now he's kicking him in the corner again. What's he gonna do? Dan Matthews is going on the top rope. Looks like he's trying to do a coast-to-coast drop kick in. He hits it. If I was Dan Matthews, I would have gone in for the cover after that. Reversal by Dusty Ryan, and he hits it with the patent DDT. This could be an upset, ladies and gentlemen. Going into a cover, one, and only a one count. I think Dusty Ryan's a little woozy with that cut being open. This ain't the sissy leagues. This ain't the PG league. We go all out here in YTXW. We put the A back into attitude here in YTXW. Oh, looks like an armbar submission hold. Dan Matthews fought out of it. Into a sleeper suplex takedown. A knee drop to Dusty Ryan into that open cut of the head. Dusty Ryan was able to counter knock Dan Matthews off his feet. Kick to the cut by DDM. I think Dusty Ryan's still losing with that cut. Ooh, and a face plant DDT by Dan Matthews. And an elbow drop by DDM. Irish whip into the corner coming up. Dusty Ryan's able to counter into a shoulder block. Dan Matthews able to get back up. Irish whip back in the corner. Dusty Ryan's able to fight out of it. And then tornado DDT. That's Dusty Ryan's finisher. Is he going to get it? 1, 2. And a kick out of 2.5. Dusty Ryan still has fight left into him. Ooh, and a full Nelson slam into a suplex into a pin, and only got a 1 count. Irish whip in the corner. Lifts him up. Ooh, a hurricanrana off the top rope. That has to make Dusty Ryan woozy. And a knee drop to the open cut of his forehead. That has to make that cut even deeper. But Dusty Ryan was able to counter knock DDM off his feet again. DDM gets back to his feet, and Irish whips him into the corner. Dusty Ryan was able to counter. What's he gonna do? Looks like a tornado DDT come up, and he hits it, and he does. There's DDM on his stomach, but DDM was able to fight back. And it's a great kick to the back of the head of Dusty Ryan. It looks like a double arm submission hold, a double arm camel clutch it looks like. But Dusty Ryan did not submit. He looked like he's going for it again. Maybe he didn't have arms very good the last time. He still didn't want to submit. He picks Dusty Ryan up on his shoulders. What's he gonna do? Oh, and a go to sleep by Dan Matthews. Going for the cover. 1, 2. And a kick out of 2.5 by Dusty Ryan. I guess Dusty Ryan really wants a title shot here for the internet title. 2 close calls for Dusty Ryan to lose in this match, and he kicks out. A reversal by DDM. He's using left kicks in the face by Dusty Ryan. Dusty Ryan falls into the corner, and a baseball slide by DDM. He picks Dusty Ryan back up. Irish whip over the top rope. Looks like a shoulder block. We tried to, but Dusty Ryan's able to counter out of it, left and right. And a drop kick, and Dusty Ryan falls outside the ring. DDM's going outside the top rope. And an elbow drop, but Dusty Ryan was able to counter in the last second, dodge it the last second. And DDM crashes and burns. Now they're fighting outside the ring, and a tornado DDT. So on Dan Matthews' finisher, and he hits the elbow drop this time. And the referee's starting his 10 count. And a shoulder block by Dusty Ryan. Ooh, and it's a great kick by DDM. And a forearm and a hip up by DDM. Ooh, and a distant clothesline by DDM. Irish whips him back into the ring. An elbow drop on the outside. Looks like, oh, a leg drop on the apron by Dan Matthews to Dusty Ryan. What's he gonna do now? Dusty Ryan is able to counter. Ooh, and a shot to the back of the head to DDM. DDM was able to counter out of it. Reversal by Dusty Ryan. And takes down Dan Matthews. They're kicking him. He's doing a bunch of right kicks. Oh, and it's a Gary kick to the back of the head. What's he gonna do now? Dan Matthews is going on the top rope. And a 450 splash by Dan Matthews into a cover. 1, 2, 3, and Dan Matthews beat Dusty Ryan here tonight on YTXW Collision. What a great victory by Dan Matthews. This guy is one of the top competitors here in YTXW, and that's why he is the YTXW Internet Champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, I, Tony James, the new general manager of YTXW, am announcing at Summerfest there will be a triple threat match to determine the first ever YTXW Hardcore Champion, which will feature Ryan Terra versus Dusty Ryan versus Johnny Lewis. Also, I will have a huge announcement to make after the main event tonight. Until then, enjoy the show, people. It's gonna be a big one.
Yeah! Another boys' night in. Sweet. Not now. I'm in the zone.
Doritos. Yummy. Single player or multiplayer?
This match is set for one fall. Introducing first, from Tampa, Florida, weighing in at 270 pounds, Big Vincent.
Welcome back to YTXW Collision Episode 7, ladies and gentlemen. Before we went to commercial break, we saw the new YTXW General Manager Tony James made the announcement. At Summerfest, there will be a triple threat hardcore match to determine the first ever YTXW Hardcore Champion. Well, Big Vincent's on his way down the ring, and he's pissed off here tonight because he will not be able to accompany the $1 Million Willie down to his match. And if he does, the $1 Million Willie will be stripped of his YTXW Heavyweight Championship. Man, Big Vincent looks like he's primed up and ready to go tonight. And the crowd's just booing him out of the arena. How can a guy being that big and that powerful can be bought by the $1 Million Willie, wearing a property of the $1 Million Willie? I just don't get it.
And his opponent, from Los Angeles, California, weighing in at 232 pounds, male stripper, Mr. Sunshine.
And here comes the male stripper himself, Mr. Sunshine. Mr. Sunshine always says he loves to party. And there are his lovely ladies, always accompanying him down to ringside. Mr. Sunshine says that he could be the face of YTXW one day. He wants to take YTXW to a whole different level. I can imagine what that could be. Anyways, Mr. Sunshine's no joke. He can really compete in that ring. And tonight he would have his hands full with Big Vincent. Sorry, look at what beautiful ladies he has there. They're always coming in down the ring side. Mr. Sunshine, you're one lucky son of a gun. And the crowd sure, especially the male side of the crowd, sure loves Mr. Sunshine and his ladies. And the ladies love Mr. Sunshine. I don't know why the ladies love him. Hell, I'm so sexy. The ladies should love me. Well, anyways, the match is off. And right off the back, a backdrop by Mr. Sunshine to Big Vincent. And Big Vincent kind of gets up and starts wailing on Mr. Sunshine into a shoulder block into the turnbuckle. And the crowd booing Big Vincent right out of the arena just about. I guess Big Vincent's going to take all his frustrations out on Mr. Sunshine after what happened earlier tonight with Big Hoss being relieved as CEO, and now he can't accompany the $1 Million Willie down the ring side, so he's going to take it out on Mr. Sunshine. Got an arm drag by Mr. Sunshine to Big Vincent. He takes him down. He's got a submission hold on him. Another arm bar on. Irish whip to the corner coming up. Referee got in the corner into a running bulldog. A hip toss by Big Vincent. And another hip toss into a submission hold by Mr. Sunshine. A headlock in. Big Vincent fights out of it. Reversing back and forth. No one really has the upper hand right now. Well, and a body slam by Big Vincent. And Mr. Sunshine fights out of it into a waist lock. Reversing again by Big Vincent. Suplex coming up and he hits it. He tries to do a right punch, but Mr. Sunshine was able to counter into a headlock again. Referee's in there to check to see if he wants to give up, and Big Vincent counters out of it. A headlock coming up, but Mr. Sunshine fights back. Irish whip to the corner by Big Vincent. Bounces him off. Oh, and a shoulder block into the steel post. And a suplex coming up by Big Vincent, and he hits it. Oh man, he's wailing on Mr. Sunshine now. Like I said, he's pissed for what happened earlier tonight. Irish whip coming up by Big Vincent. And a black hole slam by Big Vincent. Mr. Sunshine's able to counter out of it into a tornado net breaker. And here comes another one. Irish whip by Big Vincent. A drop toe hold takedown by Mr. Sunshine. And a back suplex by Big Vincent. And a knee drop to the back of the head by Big Vincent to Mr. Sunshine. Mr. Sunshine tries to counter out of it. Big Vincent counters back. Countering back and forth now. And takedown, and now he's working on the back of the head of Big Vincent, Mr. Sunshine. It's like I said, Mr. Sunshine's no joking in this ring. A shorter takedown by Big Vincent. Ooh, and a short clothesline. Oh man, it looks like he's going for the trifecta. Oh no, he went to a 360 clothesline. Mr. Sunshine Vincent's able to counter that, and a takedown by Big Vincent. Irish whip, and Mr. Sunshine goes over the top rope. He's trying to knock Mr. Sunshine off the apron of the ring. And he does. Now they're fighting outside the ring. Referee starting his count. Ooh, and he's fighting outside. Irish whips into the barricade. And a headbutt, and Mr. Sunshine falls down to the ground. Now he's working on the back of the neck of Mr. Sunshine. I better get back in the ring. I think the referee's up to a 5. Oh, a spine buster by Big Vincent. Big Vincent gets back in the ring, and he poses. What the heck's he posing about? Mr. Sunshine better get back in the ring. I think the referee's getting close. Oh, they did, and the count's been broken. The referee's starting to count again. It's reversing back and forth outside the ring. Mr. Sunshine got the... What's he going to do now? Oh, now it looks like there's a chokehold. Referee telling Mr. Sunshine to get back in the ring. Big Vincent's left and right, and Mr. Sunshine goes outside the ring again over the top rope. Big Vincent goes out after him, fights outside the ring. Irish whips him in the corner of the barricade again. Ooh, and a headbutt, and Mr. Sunshine falls down to the mat. Headlock, and they're reversing back. Mr. Sunshine was able to reverse. Reversing back and forth now. Ooh, an elbow to Mr. Sunshine's face. Ooh, an arm suplex by Big Vincent. Big Vincent goes back in the ring. And he's going back outside to break the count. Referee has to start the count over in the shoulder block by Big Vincent. Irish whip coming up in the corner. And a headbutt off the top of the headbutt, and Mr. Sunshine falls down to the mat again. Looks like a power slam coming up, and he hits it. Big Vincent goes back inside the ring. He'll break the 10 count again. Referee has to start the count over again. Irish whips him back into the ring. An elbow drop. Big Vincent's on the apron and does a leg drop outside on the apron. Big Vincent gets back inside the ring. He's posing, and Mr. Sunshine, oh, and a face plant by Mr. Sunshine, and Big Vincent kicks out at 2. Mr. Sunshine trying to get some offense on, but Big Vincent counters into a black hole slam. Referee 2 count and 3, and Big Vincent wins and beats Mr. Sunshine here tonight. I guess Big Vincent's got some anger taken out on Mr. Sunshine tonight to relieve his anger. Congratulations, Big Vincent. This guy's still pissed. What the hell? Man, this happened on the last episode of YTXW Collision. I don't know what this means. This creepy ass laugh. Oh man. Big Vincent's freaking out. He don't know what the hell's going on here. There's fire around the ring. The crowd's like in shock what the hell's going on. The crowd is in shock. Like they're freaked out. Who the hell's this creepy laugh? It looks like Big Vincent's having a nervous breakdown in the corner of the ring here. And there's Johnny Lewis warming up for his match coming up next. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
This match is set for one fall. Introducing first, Jay Stevens. And his opponent, from Austin, Texas, weighing in at 244 pounds, Johnny Lewis.
Welcome back to YTXW Collision, and here comes Johnny Lewis down to the ring for his match. This guy's been undefeated in YTXW since his debut, and tonight he'll be going up against YTXW Developmental wrestler Jay Stevens. That he wrestles down to YTXW Developmental program called PCO Championship Wrestling. Well, let's see if Jay Stevens can give him more of a challenge, workout match, as Johnny Lewis always says. This guy, like I said last episode of YTXW, that he's a mix between Lex Luger and Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh yeah! And Johnny Lewis, man, got muscles in places that most people don't even have places. Look at that physique. Man, I wish I had that physique when I was in my prime. But I didn't. Well, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, let's see what this match can do. Maybe Jay Stevens can do the upset of the history and knock off Johnny Lewis, the undefeated Johnny Lewis. And right off the back, a belly-to-belly suplex by Johnny Lewis. Oh, and a takedown slam by Johnny Lewis into an arm drag. Into a neck breaker by Johnny Lewis. Jay Stevens ain't getting much of an offense on in this match. Who the hell walks around with blue hair? Oh, and an arm drag takedown by Johnny Lewis into a back suplex by Johnny Lewis. Irish whip in the corner coming up by Johnny Lewis. Left and lights into the punches, and then Ray Stevens is falling in the corner of the ring. What's he gonna do? And a running knee to Jay Stevens to Johnny Lewis into a takedown DDT by Johnny Lewis. Jay Stevens had no offense in this match whatsoever. Oh, and a jackhammer slam by Johnny Lewis, and Johnny Lewis is posing that physique. Man, what a poser this guy is. Muscle buster slam, and he hits it. Going for the cover. 1, 2, 3. And Johnny Lewis is still undefeated here in YTXW. I guess Jay Stevens better go back down to the developmental territory. He didn't make it here tonight. I wonder if that was a workout match for Johnny Lewis. That poor kid got his ass handed to him. Well, I feel sorry for competitors that goes up against Johnny Lewis to get their ass handed to him.
Again, I barely break a sweat. I'm not even warmed up and the competition is on the mat. This nobody has not earned my respect, and neither has the last two. What are you suits up in corporate thinking, putting me up against this trash? Don't you think my fans deserve a better show? I'm Johnny Lewis, goddammit, and I'm all that fucking is.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I just got one thing to say. Someone in the back, get this guy some good competition. This is getting ridiculous. And he's getting really pissed off at everybody's face so far. He's whipped somebody's ass. Well, we'll be right back after this commercial break. heading towards the ring. Oh no, he's getting in the ring. That guy's bigger than Tony James. Oh, it's got Tony by the throat. Choke slam. Go for the cover. No, not like this. Not like this. Oh, the $1 million Willie just regained the heavyweight championship of the world of YTXW. Oh no, what's he gonna do now? Oh no, not another choke slam. Ah, man, poor Tony. His back's gotta be broken. Come on, ref, get this monster out of whoever he is.
The following contest was a 6-man tag match. Introducing first, he is one half of the YTXW Tag Team Champion from Calgary, Canada, weighing in at 262 pounds, Alexander.
Welcome back to YTXW Collision Episode 7, and here's our main event, our 6-man tag team match, and here comes Alexander, one half of the YTXW World Tag Team Champion, and he loves to record his fans every time he comes out. Man, this is going to be a great 6-man tag team match, and don't forget, Big Vincent cannot accompany the $1 million Willie down the ringside here tonight, or the $1 million Willie will get stripped of the title.
And his partner, he is one half of the YTXW Tag Team Champion from Phoenix, Arizona, weighing in at 243 pounds, Taylor Storm.
And here comes Taylor Storm, the other half of the YTXW World Tag Team Champion. From day one, since YTXW, I said this guy would be one of my favorites, and he is. And he proves himself every night in this ring. And him and Alexander's been tag team champions since episode 2 of YTXW Collision, and ever since then they've been defending champions. Crowd's going crazy for him.
And their partner, from Chicago, Illinois, weighing in at 243 pounds, the painkiller, Zane Crow.
And here comes the #1 contender for the YTXW World Heavyweight Championship, the painkiller, Zane Crow. And he says at Summerfest he is going to walk out as the new YTXW Heavyweight Champion. And this guy has some good momentum going in to that pay-per-view. In the last episode of YTXW Collision, he went one-on-one against Big Vincent and beat him. And he said he could beat anybody here in YTXW. He's going to prove that at Summerfest when he beats the $1 million Willie for the title. And the crowd sure going crazy for the painkiller, Zane Crow. This guy has wrestled everywhere in the independent scene and on BYU. He's here in YTXW in the major leagues, and he is the #1 contender for the coveted YTXW Heavyweight Championship. And the crowd going nuts. And I cannot wait for this 6-man tag team match. It's gonna be awesome.
And their opponents, from Mexico City, Mexico, Sanchez and Ramirez, the Next Brothers.
And here comes Sanchez and Ramirez, the Mex Brothers. They are pissed off because they said they should be the reigning YTXW Tag Team Champions. Well, they had 2 opportunities and failed. Well, tonight, if they could actually win this 6-man tag team match, they might be in another line for another title shot against Alexander and Taylor Storm for the tag team championships. Well, we'll have to wait and see what happens. And the crowd's booing them out of the arena, too. They like to cross our borders and spend our money.
And their partner, from Sarasota, Florida, is the YTXW World Heavyweight Champion, weighing in at 277 pounds, $1 Million Willie.
And talking about money, and here he is, Mr. Moneybags himself, the reigning and defending YTXW Heavyweight Champion. He has been champion for 123 days. This guy is going to Summerfest to defend that title against Zane Crow, and he told me earlier tonight that he is gonna beat Zane Crow and retain his title because Zane Crow is a nobody, and that the $1 Million Willie is the face of YTXW, and the YTXW Championship is his property. Well, we'll have to wait and see what happens at Summerfest. I'm just curious as what Tony James, the new general manager of YTXW's big announcement is after this match tonight. I'm just curious about that. And there is the $1 Million Willie in all his glory with his title. And we're off with Ramirez and Alexander locking up for this 6-man tag team main event match. And a suplex coming up by Alexander, and he hits it on Ramirez. Ramirez is trying to fight back, and he tosses Zane Crow in the ring. What the hell? Referee gets Zane Crow. He's illegal in this ring. Zane Crow's fighting back and he gets out of the ring. Referee finally got control. Irish foot coming up by Ramirez, and Alexander was able to counter into a dragon sleeper. Left and rights by Ramirez. Irish foot coming up, I think. And nope, he bounces him off the turnbuckle and hits him in the midsection. Left and rights by going countering back and forth. Looked like some sort of submission hold going into a takedown. He picking a fight with Zane Crow. I wouldn't worry about Zane Crow. I'd be worrying about Alexander in the ring right now. Reversing back and forth, a kick in the gut. Irish foot coming up into a headbutt. And he tags in Sanchez. Sanchez goes into a Hurricanrana to Alexander. Ladies and gentlemen, a suplex coming up by Sanchez. Tries to do a clothesline, but Alexander was able to counter it. A headlock by Sanchez into a waistlock by Alexander. Reversing back and forth now. And another Hurricanrana by Sanchez. Alexander is able to counter out of it. Irish whip into the corner. Looked like Taylor Storm was able to tag in Taylor Storm and does a double crossbody to Sanchez. And now Taylor Storm has the offense going on. And a knee takedown drop by Storm to Sanchez. Man, these two tag teams have a rivalry since episode 2, since they crowned the first ever YTXW Tag Team Champions. And right now, Storm has the offense on in this match, and then another takedown by Taylor Storm. Taylor Storm. A headlock coming up by Sanchez. Irish whip coming up. Reversing around. Into a snap suplex by Sanchez. Into a headlock takedown by Sanchez. Irish whip into the corner coming up. Looks like a tornado DDT coming up. And he hits it. An arm drag takedown by Storm. Sanchez's able to get up and counter it. Fighting back and forth. Tags in Ramirez. Sanchez tags in Ramirez. What's Ramirez gonna do? Reversal by Storm. Ramirez reverse after that into a back breaker by Ramirez, and now he's dragging him over his team, going for a pinfall, and not even a 1 count. Storm's trying to fight back. Irish whip going into the corner and enemy camp. What's going on now? He tags in the YTXW heavyweight champion, the $1 Million Willie. A double team coming up. A clothesline. And now the $1 Million Willie's in the ring. Puts a suplex coming up and he hits it on Storm. Going for a cover. Only a 1 count. Headlock coming on by the $1 Million Willie. Into a net breaker. Looks like a modified net breaker clothesline. A suplex coming up by the $1 Million Willie and he hits it. Going into a cover and only a 1 count. Irish whip coming up in the corner, reversing around, counters it. Now he's got the $1 Million Willie hanging upside down on the turnbuckle. $1 Million Willie was able to counter man up by upside down, and he tries to do a drop kick, but Storm was able to counter it. Reversal by Storm. The $1 Million Willie was able to counter that into a jawbreaker. A half Boston Crab referee checking in to see if he wants to give up. Storm saying no. Now the teams are getting in trying to break it up, and they do. Oh, chaos going on. Come on, ref. Get this chaos out of the ring. Now we got $1 Million Willie fighting Alexander. I don't think Alexander even got tagged in. I think it's still Storm and $1 Million Willie legal, and I think it is. Storm's got the upper hand. $1 Million Willie was able to counter out of it, get out of it. Now they're fighting. Now Zane Crow, the #1 contender, versus the the heavyweight champion of the world, the $1 Million Willie. #1 contender versus the champion. And a takedown slam by Zane Crow. Ooh, and a hard clothesline by $1 Million Willie. $1 Million Willie running around the corner trying to get some offense. Ooh, and a drop kick by Zane Crow. Lock up. He's going to get the upper hand, and $1 Million Willie does. He's working on Zane Crow's arm. He would love to injure Zane Crow right before the pay-per-view. That would give the $1 Million Willie some confidence going into that paper. And another hard clothesline by the $1 Million Willie. Ooh, and a sucker punch down. The $1 Million Willie's going on the top rope and does a missile drop kick to Zane Crow and hits it. Irish foot coming up into the corner. Zane Crow was able to counter it. The $1 Million Willie was able to counter out of the corner. Zane Crow's fighting back, countering, and another counter by $1 Million Willie, another counter by Zane Crow, and then that breaker by Zane Crow to the $1 Million Willie. And don't forget, there's no one down by ringside for $1 Million Willie. Tony James is banned, Big Vincent, and if Big Vincent did come down to ringside, $1 Million Willie would be stripped of the title on the spot. He tags in Ramirez and does a double team on Zane Crow. And a backbreaker to Zane Crow by Ramirez. Zane Crow is trying to do a missile cockpit, but Ramirez is able to dodge it. I know he's doing right hand punches on the back of Zane Crow's head. He slams his head to the mat. Now reversing back and forth. No one has the upper hand. Zane Crow's able to get out and then take down. Sort of blocked by Ramirez, and he did another one. And I pick Zane Crow back up and then does another one. Tags in Sanchez. Reversing back and forth. Sanchez is trying to get some offense on here. And here comes the suplex coming up in. Sanchez hits it. Oh, and a foot to the eyes. Zane Crow does a miss a drop kick, but Sanchez was able to dodge it. Irish whip in the corner by Zane Crow. Bounces Sanchez off into a German suplex. What's he gonna do now? Sanchez is able to counter. A rig to the eyes, and a German suplex by Sanchez into a Boston Crab. Crowd's going. Zane Crow's team was going in to break it up, but Sanchez just broke out of it. Now they're reversing back and forth, and Sanchez has got the upper hand after that. Dragging him in away from the ropes, going for a cover. 1, 2, and his team went in to break it up, but I think Crow kicked out of it before they was able to break it. Now Crow's outside the ring, trying to catch his breath, I think. And now Ramirez is going walking around. I don't know what the heck's going on here. Zane Crow tags in Alexander now. A lockup between the two. A little reversal by Sanchez into a modified gut breaker now. And here comes up a tornado DDT by Sanchez, and he hits it on Alexander. Now Sanchez is posing for the crowd. I think that's a big mistake. He kicks Sanchez in left and rights to Alexander now. And tries to do an Enziguri kick, goes for a cover. I think we only got a 1 count out of it. Irish whip over the top rope. Sanchez hangs on. Ooh, he's able to counter. And now he's outside, he gets back in the ring. An arm drag, Zane Crow's inside the ring. Referee's telling Zane Crow to get out of the ring, and a dragon sleeper by Alexander's in the ring. He got Hutch in there good, will he submit? And Sanchez does not submit. He's got him tagged, hanged up in the ropes. Come on, ref, get him out. It's ridiculous. Now he's hammering the back of his head to the mat, Sanchez is. Jump over in the shoulders, what's he gonna do? Ooh, it looks like an AA by Sanchez. Tags in Ramirez into a body slam. Alexander's able to fight out of it. Reversal by Ramirez. And a shoulder takedown by Ramirez to Alexander. Alexander is able to counter out of it, knocks Ramirez on the mat. An arm drag. Ramirez counters out of it. Alexander counters out of that. And the belly to back suplex by Alexander. If I was Alexander, I'd go and tag in Storm or Zane Crow. He's been in there pretty long. Now Ramirez looks like he's going to go for a superplex. Is he going to hit it? And he does. Going for a cover. 1, only a 1 count. An arm drag coming up. But I'm in the corner. Zane Crow's over there trying to get Ramirez's attention, but Ramirez tosses Zane Crow into the ring. Zane Crow gotta get out of the ring. He's not legal. Alexander is. Come on, ref, get control of this match. Now Ramirez gets up on here, reversing back and forth now. We're still reversing back and forth. No one has the upper hand. Storm wants in this match. He's telling Alexander to tag in. I think Storm, yep, he tags in Storm. Storm gets tagged in. Ooh, and a shoulder block by Ramirez. Irish whip coming up into the corner. Storm was able to get out of it. Countering back and forth now. Into a body slam. Irish whips in the corner again. He tags in Sanchez. Double team coming up. And a double clothesline by Ramirez and Sanchez. Sanchez is now legal. Storm was able to counter into his offense. Ooh, an enziguri kicked the back of Sanchez's head. Ooh. Sanchez has rigged Storm in the eyes. What's going on here? It looks like a power bomb. Sit down power bomb by Sanchez to Storm. Now he's posing for the crowd. Got him up over the shoulders. Ooh, and then another modified AA on Storm. Now he's kicking Storm. Storm's getting back up to his feet. He's able to get counter. Now they're kind of back and forth. No one has the upper hand right now. Ooh, and a German suplex by Sanchez to Storm. And a suplex counters it into a neck breaker. And a takedown by Sanchez. Suplex coming up. Storm was able to counter it. He tags in Zane Crow. Zane Crow's in. Clothesline. And he does a takedown by Ramirez. Kicks him in the gut. Sanchez gone and he does a running clothesline. What's he going to do? Is he going in for a cover? He's dragging him in the middle of the mat. He's going for a cover. One. Referee trying to count, but he kicks out at one. Referee had to get all the parties out of the ring. And a drop kick by Sanchez. He tags back in Ramirez. Zane Crow tags in Alexander. Oh, and a backbreaker by Ramirez to Alexander. And it's shoulder block takedown by Ramirez. Irish whips him in the corner and clotheslines, and Alexander falls down to the mat. Irish whips him in the corner again on his team side. What's he gonna do? Alexander Flood's able to get out of there. Counters it. But he gets back in the corner by Ramirez and he tags back in Sanchez. Double team coming up. And does a double flapjack on Alexander. Alexander's in a lot of trouble. Sanchez gets him up again. And here comes another modified AA to Alexander by Sanchez. What's he gonna do now? He tags back in Ramirez. Ooh, and a shoulder block by Ramirez to Alexander. Headlock coming up by Ramirez into a body slam. Another body slam coming up by Ramirez and he hits it. And Alexander, here comes another one, but Alexander is able to counter it and does an armbar takedown. Going over, I think he's going to tag in. He tags in Storm. Storm gets tagged back in. Ramirez tags in back in Sanchez. Here comes a Hurricanrana by Sanchez to Storm. And a gut breaker by Sanchez to Storm. Into a modified suplex into a face breaker. Or a face buster, sorry. Takes Storm back up again. And he hits it again. Gets him in the middle of the ring. A roll up by Storm. Referee's counting 1, 2, and a breakout at 2.5. $1 Million Willie broke the pin. Oh, he does trying to do a rolling leg drop, but he misses. Sanchez picks him up. $1 Million Willie's in the ring. Sanchez has got the upper hand and takes down Storm. Now Storm, grabbing Storm, picking Storm back up now. Looks like he's trying to hit a finisher again. Ooh. Going into a cover and a broke break. Storm's trying to fight out of it. Into another Hurricanrana. Lock coming up, and a suplex, and he hits it. Storm is in trouble, and now he tags back in Ramirez. Puts him in the middle of the dragon to the corner. What the hell? What the hell's going on back there? CJ Hawkins is getting his ass handed to him by Warlock. What the fuck's Warlock doing? Someone get back there and help him. Good guy. Warlock's a madman. He's taking out CJ Hawkins, throws him right into the steel railing there. Now he's throwing him up against that glass. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Shit! CJ Hawkins just went right through the window. St. Crow's running back there to try to help his friend. What the fuck's going on back there? Someone called the paramedic. Warlock's out of control. He just targeted CJ Hawkins. What's going on in the middle of the ring? A takedown slam by Ramirez. And another one by Ramirez. What's going on? Another takedown slam again by Ramirez. Going for the cover. $1 Million Willie counter. Referee 1, 2, 3. And the $1 Million Willie and the Mex Brothers won. What the hell happened back there? St. Crow ran back there to help his friend out. Warlock took out CJ Hawkins through that glass. I hope the paramedics is out back there trying to help him. What the hell just happened? There's St. Crow checking on his friend. Man, he has to be hurt, seriously hurt. St. Crow's trying to call for medical attention. I hope CJ Hawkins okay. Warlock's a madman tackling someone in the back. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the $1 Million Willie and the Mex Brothers won the match. I knew $1 Million Willie had a backup plan. He had Warlock take out CJ Hawkins so St. Crow would leave. And here comes Tony James, the YTXW General Manager. Here comes the big announcement.
Congratulations, $1 Million Willie, on your big win tonight. I'm here to announce that in your championship match with Zane Crow at Summerfest, there will be a special referee in that match, which I will announce on the next episode of YTXW Collision. Until then, have a nice night.
Ladies and gentlemen, who could the special guest referee be? We'll have to find out on the next episode of YTXW Collision. The $1 Million Willie is upset about this. We'll see you next time on the next YTXW Collision.